In an era inundated with sounds and where words speed by, might find yourself wondering, can silence really be a strength? When life around you resounds with ever-changing tunes and endless chatter, silence becomes a bold choice. Is it not remarkable to discover within that silence an inner dialogue that the external world cannot disrupt? Rather than being an escape or a sign of weakness, silence is a proclamation of your inner integrity, a reaffirmation of your ability to distinguish between the clamor of fleeting moments and those precious minutes you need to listen to the beat of your soul. Here, Nietzsche's idea emerges, suggesting that expression is not measured by the number of words, but by the depth of the silence that may hold wisdom capable of piercing the pretense of the external world. You, in those moments when you choose to become silent amid the crowd of voices, demonstrate an unparalleled inner strength to the world. Some might be deceived into believing that words are the strongest weapon and that silence is a mark of weakness or servility. However, if you deliberate carefully, you will see that silence is often bolder than words pulsating with superficiality. When you decide to remain silent, it is not a refusal to express yourself. It is a preemptive decision not to engage in verbal battles that could weigh you down and ignite fruitless disputes. Your choice of silence attests to your self-confidence. It stands as an inner affirmation that you are capable of countering anything that seeks to rob your soul of its clarity. As Nietzsche remarked in other facets of his thought, when a word loses its sparkle, it becomes an enemy of the spirit. Its use is justified only when it carries mature ideas that elevate its individuality. You understand that silence is not an emptiness, but a space in which the boundaries of thought unfurl. Look at silence as if it were a blank canvas awaiting the strokes of your creativity. In this space, miracles can occur, for the mind can commune with its own essence without distortion or deviation. Here, we are reminded of another philosopher's ideas. Schopenhauer saw silence as the realm where truth reveals itself more clearly. And when words step aside, you allow yourself to listen to the depths of existence. This deliberate silence is your invitation to liberate thought from the constraints of overused expressions, for it allows you to view things from an unconventional perspective. In that realm lies true greatness, the ability to think and reflect without the interference of worldly clamor. In your meetings and daily conflicts, you can transform silence into both a shield and a sword. In social relationships, excessive talk is not always the beginning of healthy communication. There are times when silence speaks louder than any sentence. When you allow yourself to stand quietly, you send a message to others that you respect yourself and your worth, and that you possess the capacity to evaluate and understand matters deeply. This kind of silence is a triumph over hasty emotions and the negativity that might lead to misunderstandings. Every word uttered may open a new door to disputes, while silence acts as a fortified wall that prevents negativity from seeping into your heart. In those moments, you will find yourself surrounded by respect, with people learning from you that true strength sometimes lies in tranquility. You feel that silence gives you the opportunity to test the true essence of yourself, far from the clamor of voices and conflicting opinions. Silence is not isolation from life. It is a yearning to plunge into the depths of awareness. In moments of silence, you can hear the plaintive murmur of your soul and its authentic reflections, which are often overlooked amid the ceaseless rush of conversation. When you allow that silence within you, it opens a window to new horizons of thought and reflection. These moments are your chance to reorganize your ideas and learn how to deal with emotions without being overwhelmed by external chaos. They are an inner journey that invites you to contemplate the meaning of life and those values that are hard to find amidst the clamor of words. And ask yourself, what makes silence your triumph? It is the triumph of mind and spirit over impulsive reactions, the conquest over that chaos which turns abundant speech into meaningless noise. When silence is a conscious choice, it becomes the embodiment of self-assurance. For one who masters silence knows that every word has its value and is not meant for everyone at all times. You realize that every situation has its own proper time and place, and that sometimes admitting the inability to respond is the clearest sign of mature thought and spirit. When you choose silence in the face of provocation, you declare to everyone that you are not alone, but rather that you possess an inner strength that does not need constant verbal affirmation to prove its existence. You are capable of turning silence into a language that touches the deepest recesses of the soul and leaves an indelible mark. In your social presence, when voices rise and opinions are exchanged without pause, you become that steadfast element capable of inspiring those around you. This silence is not an emptiness, but a conscious presence, a presence that vibrates with wisdom and reason and grants others the space to think for themselves. It is an implicit message that the value of speech lies in its measured use rather than its sheer volume, and that it is infinitely more beautiful for your words to be few yet profound and indicative of your unwavering truth. When you choose to dispel the clamor with a quiet moment, you teach others a beautiful lesson in the wonder that deliberate thinking can manifest, as opposed to hollow chatter. Cultivate within yourself the ability to listen to silence as you would listen to the sea on a dark night. In that quietude lie the secrets and ideas that words dare not express. It is there that the contours of awareness are completed, and your vision rises above the meanings concealed behind every sentence. As Nietzsche viewed with his philosophy, that true strength need not be flaunted amid clamor, but is instead revealed by disarming adversaries and doubts with inner calm, as if saying, I know who I am, and you need not insist on validation. Remember that every situation that calls for silence is an opportunity to reinforce your willpower and prepare for the victories you deserve in a life full of challenges. Do not forget that the power of silence extends beyond the individual. It resonates throughout society as a whole. When a person becomes a repository of calm, the words of others gain more value and become less noisy. In a society where its members learn the value of silence, an environment emerges that not only tolerates differences, but also cherishes compassion among souls. Here, silence is not merely the absence of speech. It is a space for critical thought and an openness to the quiet voices that carry with them the experience of wisdom and maturity. A society whose people embrace silence is one that avoids the divisions noisy expressions may generate, favoring quality of expression over mere abundance of words. Recognize that, at times, silence is the very weapon that rescues you from the chaos of life and the madness of incessant talk. When you decide to take a brief respite from the race of chatter and analysis, you open a door to regaining your balance and recharging your spirit. Here, silence resembles a mirror in which you see your true self without the distortion of words that might disfigure it. Realizing this truth gives you the strength to face the world's clamor without fear, for it then becomes nothing more than background noise compared to your inner peace and tranquility, which empower you to make wise decisions and a promising future. Know that you have the ability to make silence your ally, aiding you in overcoming difficult moments and challenges that might not yield to any other sincere word or moment of reflection. And as you journey toward embracing the true value of silence, you discover that this path is an entrance to a deeper understanding of yourself. As the noise of the external world fades, you allow the light of wisdom to seep into your heart, heralding the start of an inner transformation. Some may ask, is silence truly a strength? Yet you know that every time you choose silence, you weave strands of purity and self-faith. It is a triumph over chaos, a defiance of the turbulent clamor that seeks to steal all that is precious. Through this challenge, your intellectual and emotional capacities grow, equipping you to face life's complexities in a manner that expresses a profound and unique vision. In conclusion, you are invited to reconsider every word you utter and every moment you allow silence to accompany you. Your choice of silence is not an escape from reality, but an investment in yourself, a refuge where you can renew your energy and restore your inner calm. Let those moments spent in silent contemplation serve as a compass guiding you toward a future where your self-knowledge and understanding of life steadily ascend. Remember that true power lies in having control over your words, and thereby over your thoughts. It lies in the ability to distinguish between transient expression and enduring silence, a silence that carries within it the enlightening glow of your ideas and dreams. Regard silence as a mentor that opens extensive horizons for triumph over its own self. A call from you to the world that you need not create a cacophony to prove your worth. If words are apt to confound, then silence is apt to clarify. Now, after you have contemplated the meanings of silence from the perspectives of Nietzsche and Schopenhauer, the choice before you becomes unmistakably clear. Make each moment of silence a pause to appreciate the wonder of life and the importance of reflecting on its details. Let those quiet seconds serve as a bridge leading you to a deeper understanding of yourself and others. For when silence expresses your awareness, it is a triumph like no other, a means to transcend all that hinders your path to success and happiness. Unleash the dormant energy within you and allow your silence to be the purest expression of your will and steadfast principles. You, now having experienced in the words of this text the brilliance and value of silence, hold the keys to transforming your approach in the face of the world's clamor. Embrace silence as your ally and enjoy the personal and social benefits it offers in building a healthy relationship with both yourself and those around you. In doing so, you prove that victory is not always measured by what is spoken, but by what is preserved, and that in the calm of selected moments lies the secret to triumph over chaos and noisy congestion. Let these thoughts envelope your heart and illuminate your path, for ultimately, silence is a victory for both the spirit and the mind, a mirror that reveals your inner depths and guides you toward a brighter future. Open your heart to this new path, and let silence guide your steps along the corridors of reflection and maturity. You are now destined for moments rich with the realization that everything has its season, and in the time of silence lies a strength beyond compare. Ponder, listen, and embark on a journey amid clashing voices while you remain the wise child who interrogates existence with its subtle melodies. Perhaps in every silence you will discover a new secret that illuminates your way and enlightens your understanding. With these words, I conclude my invitation to you to embrace silence as an art that elevates both your mind and soul. Live it as a conscious choice, and allow no sound to distance you from your inner self. You are capable of turning silence into a language through which you express your strength, a means for creativity, and a sincere declaration that every moment of life holds an opportunity, And in every silence, there is a chance to inspire both yourself and the world at large.